Hola a todos, bien. ¿Alguna duda? ¿Algo que quieran revisar? Ya saben, siempre les pregunto antes de empezar, para que no se aburran de que siempre pregunto lo mismo.
Buenas noches. Oiga,
Ay, perdón.
esta es la
Buenas
primera vez que
noches.
yo me uno a una clase de inglés. Ya tengo un poquito más del año cursando una licenciatura, pero una vez pregunté cómo se unían y no me contestaron. Ya luego no pude por mi trabajo y apenas es por eso que ahorita vuelvo a retomar esto. ¿Cómo podría hacerle para yo meterme a Duolingo o no sé cómo me podrían ayudar?
Realmente para Duolingo solamente tienes que entrar a la aplicación y empezar a trabajar, no hay mayor problema, ya no se usa un código ni nada. Y si tienes alguna duda de lo que ves ahí o de cualquier otra cosa respecto al inglés, me puedes preguntar aquí o me puedes escribir. Ahorita les escribo mi dirección en el chat, ¿va?
Ok, gracias.
Bien. Dime, Raúl.
Sí, profesor, buenas noches. Mire, tengo una duda sobre la sesión que impartió el día martes. No estuve presente debido a que se me impartió igual ese mismo día, se me van a impartir también dentro de esta semana y otras, los días martes de mi otra materia. Entonces, no sé si me podría decir o mencionar qué fue las actividades que hicieron ese día para estar un poco al tanto.
Perdón, ¿te refieres al martes de esta semana?
Efectivamente, profesor.
Estuvimos hablando sobre algunas noticias, les di la página de la BBC, BBC News, y escogieron unas noticias, sacaron como las 10 palabras más relevantes de la noticia para ver si los demás compañeros podían comprender de qué iba la noticia, pero no hubo así como algo más específico, Raúl, no, o sea, no te preocupes. Todos solo recuerden que las clases las pueden ver grabadas, si necesitan como ver lo que hicimos, pero en este caso no creo que sea necesario, Raúl.
Ok, está bien, profesor. Es que ya ve que las otras veces hemos practicado con algunos ejemplos o cosas así. Es por eso que le comentaba, más que nada.
Sí,
Pero
sí,
gracias.
no hubo algo así en la clase pasada, no te preocupes. Bien, ¿qué más les iba a decir? Bueno, les voy a compartir una imagen que me encontré. Me gustó mucho porque es algo que creo que le puede servir a muchos. Déjenme compartirles mi pantalla. Antes, bueno, vamos a pasar al Full English Mode, ¿ok? Si alguien no entiende o no le queda claro, ya sabe que siempre me puede preguntar. One question for all of you. How many of you have been in a job interview before? Alejandro, and how could you describe the experience, I don't know, in one sentence?
Hello, teacher. Good evening, everyone. In one sentence, I would have to say a job interview is really stressful. Everyone is the person that's interviewing is always like trying to find the most little mistake.
Yeah, I think that the one word that could describe most of us in the first time job interview, at least, could be traumatic. Yeah, it's
Yes.
stressful, and I'm telling you this because I have worked as a job interviewer for a long time in human resources, so I get this idea of how stressful could be to candidates, for candidates, sorry, and one thing that I have always taken into consideration when I was conducting the interviews is that I don't want the candidate to feel uncomfortable. But it seems that a lot of interviewers try to do so. So I think it's a very cheap option to stress the candidate. But yeah, very good. Thank you, Alejandro. Sandra, yes.
Hi everyone. Okay, for me, my interviews are challenging, scary, and very stressful, like in the first moment. But when the interviewers start maybe to make me feel comfortable. I can like relieve or to feel more comfortable in the interview. But in the first part is just like the day before, I cannot sleep, my stomach hurts, all that anxiety. Is that how I pronounce the word? Uh, yeah, that's like the sensation that you feel before the interview. But as soon as I am there and I start to talk, to answer questions, I can to just to relieve my stress a little bit. Thank you.
Yeah, that's basically the idea. As a job interviewer, you should make the interviewee comfortable. And if you see that he or she is having a bad time, I think it's like the interviewer responsibility to meddle things, to make the other person make comfortable and say, okay, I'm in this position, you are in the other position, but in the end, you are here for a reason, not to be uncomfortable.
Can I add something, teacher? Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
But the worst thing for me was my first interview in English. Oh my goodness, it was a nightmare. But I did it, but it was so stressful. Thank you.
Once I did a job interview for a translator's job, and I had to do this interview online via Skype, and the interviewer were from Australia. I felt like, oh man, how I'm going to prove that I can translate if I cannot understand this guy? It was I felt the stress level like, but in the end,
Imagine.
everything solves. That's a good thing. Very good, excellent. Now I'm going to share one image with you that I really liked, because I think, in my experience, is here it is. It's pretty useful for all of us who have to make a job interview. Okay, very good. Now, can you see it, or it's small? I'm going to make a zoom for this and take a quick reading, please. Raul, it's clear to me that interview is to let a company know about your knowledge, learning, and skills in a field that we focus on. However, I think it'd be better to do it by carrying activities so that you can see how much experience you have. But Raul, that's a very good idea. But why do you think that companies don't make this, like you are saying? Because I think it's a good idea, it'll be very practical, and you're going to find in a deeper way if the candidate is suitable for the position. But why do you think companies don't do this? No, Raul, any ideas?
Yes, teacher. Lo estoy traduciendo para poder hablar.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know when you're ready. And the question is for everyone. What do you think? Why do you think companies are not doing what Raul is proposing here? That I think it's a very good idea, but what do you think? Why do you think they don't? Any volunteers? Yes, Sandra.
Teacher, while Raul is ready, I think that it's important the skills that it shows in the resume, but also it's important to know about the personal skills, like values that the person is behind those knowledges. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, because it's important to see the character, the personality of that person that is going to fit, like in a team, in a company that is going with the mission and the goals of the company.
Very good. Yes, I agree with that. Raul?
Yes, teacher. In my opinion, because the perfect you are honest and can be more patient with my team, with your resume, o ¿cómo se dice currículum?
Resume.
Pues, ¿cómo? Disculpe.
Resume.
Pues, to me. Ok.
Sí, te lo voy a escribir. Con 2 acentos. Resume. En algunos libros van a encontrar que currículum se dice life sheet, así como hoja de vida, pero siempre he oído resume en la vida real. I think that the one reason, because of the true reason, because companies don't do what Raul is proposing, is that it's expensive. Companies are always trying to save money, and they have to make their processes more efficient. So by doing things quicker and not so deep, they're saving money. Miguel, yes.
Okay, teacher. The interview is depend of the company's goals or targets, no? If you want a job for maybe administration or accountant, it's different the interview. Um, worker production worker, no?
Yes, exactly. Yes, yes.
Each companies find skills or ability.
Every company or each company looks for skills. Esa frase que dijiste al final, así es como debería ser. Each company is looking for specific skills.
Okay. Is looking for, no? Okay.
Is looking. Mira, te lo escribo. Sería each company is looking for specific skills. A ver, les digo esto en español. De lo que les estoy compartiendo, bueno, ahorita lo leyeron. ¿Hay alguna palabra que no entiendan? Dime, Raúl.
Era mi opinión sobre lo que mencionó el profesor y también sobre mi punto de vista que di. Okay, I think teacher with often know this will lead to a company by being more basic and will improvise a great ideal in the workplace as well as helping the person concept the reporting the step. No sé si me di a entender.
Sí, muy bien. No offending anyone, that this would be lead a company being more biased and will improve a great deal in the workplace. Of course, Raul. I think that this would help a lot to have better candidates that are more suitable to the position. But in this, obviously, when you find a company that it's a first class level company, you're not going to find this. They are going to, you know, most times, even big companies subcontract people to do this kind of interviews. It's not their own human resources department. They hire something to get the best results. So they don't have to dedicate a lot of time or personal to find these candidates. They contract this another company to make these interviews. Uh, Now, I'm going to ask you a difficult question here. How many of you are working? Raise your hand. Todos los que estén trabajando, levanten la mano. Digo, no en este momento, sino que tengan un trabajo, pues, que no sea solo estudiar. Okay, bastantes. Now, do you think that the company, the workplace you're working in, is actually making you raising your skills? Ya pueden bajar la mano. You can say yes, you can say no, but I want to know the why. Es escribir. Ulises, yes.
¿Qué significa skills?
Habilidades.
Ah, ya. Gracias.
Ahí está la pregunta. Rafael, yes. ¿Por qué no te escucho? Rafael, Maqueda.
Sí, ¿ya me escucha?
Sí, ya.
Vale, ¿podría repetir, por favor?
Así es como levantaste la mano, creí que tú que querías responder la pregunta, pero es la que escribí en el chat. Do you think that the company or workplace you're currently working is making you to improve your skills? Raúl, yes.
Where I do my job is if I am my whole boss and my own employee, se dice así, ¿no? Employee, then I can see what skill I have work to reference the voice, and then what order I am hit now.
Muy bien. ¿Quién más había levantado? Miguel. Adelante, Miguel.
Yes, teacher. I like the administration. Is the reason that I am involved in this career. Okay. Nowadays, I work in logistic company, but yes, I am raising my skills in this job. Okay, the company uh, help me all day. Okay, uh, if the company if if the company don't help in your person, maybe the work is not for you, no?
Very good. Okay. A ver, Miguel Rosales, Sandra, José Pérez, Ernesto. Why do you say no or yes? I want to hear some reasons. Ernesto, yes.
Yeah, since only meeting more than one activity at a time, like this, I guess.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you say. Could you go once again, please?
This story is like this because this is something you need to do more than one activity. Same, like this.
Okay, very good. Sandra, what do you think?
Mm, In this current job, I don't see that possibility. But even that the school doesn't, I work for a school, elementary and middle school, but like I am looking for a specific learning, I do my ways for to improve my skills. The reason that why I'm doing this college degree in psychologist is because I'm working in the last maybe 8 years in different kind of studies. But now I'm working with little ones, with kids. That is my goal. But the school, unfortunately, uh, I think that one of the reasons that they don't provide so many opportunities, how can I say? It's like my feeling about, sorry, is that I am in a new city. I moved from another state and it's totally different what I'm doing right now. You know, it's a new experience for me. And in my other job, I have a lot of responsibility. I was in charge about many things, but here is a little like sabbatic year of work. But I enjoy what I'm doing right now because I'm learning to work directly with kids. That is something that I never did before. And I look in my own way to study where I want to go, where I want to be in the next 3 or 4 years. And the specific why I'm working in with kids and working in effectiveness in paternal area in coaching is because I am grandma and I want to be better grandma for my grand for my grandchild and my future grandchildren. Sorry if I didn't, maybe I didn't answer the question.
Oh, no, no, actually, you did. And it's a very good point that you are making here. You're trying to improve your skills, your work skills, by improving yourself in a personal way, in a personal life, you know?
Mhm.
That's an approach, a very interesting approach that most people should have.
Mhm.
Because I think that we are in a time and place, maybe I'm wrong, in a time and place where we try to completely separate our work life from our personal life. And I think that if we manage to comply with those two masters, it could be easier for us to enjoy work. I don't know. That's an idea. Maybe I'm wrong.
I I think that I'm enjoying just to know it's just amazing to work. I'm working right now with BPK students and kindergarten students, and it's amazing. it's time consuming. They take all your energy, but I am learning so much about those little ones, and it's lovely. It's lovely. Yeah, and the other thing is, I don't know, in general, and I don't know what is going on. Maybe I am in my 50s. I am grandma, and I feel kind of a little old. Is that right now I see the people is in hurry all the time, like everything is more about to do things, to be adults, but no be an beings, like to work in themselves, like to be a person to have the time to say hi, to look the people in their eyes. Something that happened here in USA. I don't know, Ricardo, you live here or what, but sometimes here is hard to connect with people because people doesn't like to see you in your eyes, to say hi, how are you doing. People doesn't have time.
One thing that that amazes me, and this I live in Mexico, by the way, but the thing is that you made an excellent point. People are always busy, a lot of things to do, always in a hurry, always rushing, and even when you have some spare time, you feel that you should be doing something. Like, okay, it's not okay for me to rest. I had that problem some years ago. I quit my job after realizing that that's not the way I wanted to live my life. But in the end, like you said, it's getting more and more difficult to connect with people precisely because of that. Even if you try to be nice to some stranger in the street, saying like "Hello, how are you doing?" or something like that, or establishing eye contact and being nice to those people, they are like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you talking to me?" We forgot how to be nice. In a high, I think that smaller communities don't have this problem because they know everyone. But in the end, in big cities, if you live in a big city, you are going to experience some degree of this disconnection with other people.
And it's so sad. It's so
Yes,
sad.
because we are losing the human touch, and
Yeah.
mostly our interactions now are digital. I have this idea. I enjoy working online because now I have the chance to choose who I'm going to have this personal interaction, like friends, family, and things like that. It's not like I have to go to an office and interact with people that I don't necessarily like. But in the end, I think that we are losing this connection in terms that we are losing the ability, the capabilities of dealing with people we don't like, and that's a very important interpersonal skill. Dealing with people with not necessarily agree with the things we think, we do, how we live, and it's basic. The world is different from from us, and we have to deal with that reality.
Mhm. Ricardo, can I ask a question because about the interviews that you did before? Sorry for with my classmates. Is that you told us that you were an interviewer, and I just want to ask you a question that is a little related with what you said about the connection with people. How important was for you or is for you in a job interview the body language and the energy to the person that you are interviewing?
For me, in my experience and in my personal way of conducting these interviews, is really important. But I try not to be biased by this body language. For example, sometimes I'm going to tell you a real experience. I interviewed this girl. Well, this woman. She was quite young, actually. She was 19 at the time, and the moment she sat, she she did this. She crossed her arms, but in a higher manner, not like you normally would do, right? And for me, this is a sign of being defensive or being uncomfortable. And in my first, if I let myself by my first impression, it would be like you are not suitable for this because you have to be in touch with customers So I need someone who is open to customers to be used to this interaction. And if you're defensive, the very moment you sat in front of me is like, no, you're not good for this position. But I was like, okay, I'm going to give you a chance. And asking some personal questions without crossing some boundaries, obviously, I got to know that this girl was very, very concerned about getting this job because she was in a very tight economical situation. So she was very worried and she was so afraid of failing the interview that she was so defensive and without realizing that she was uh, tripping over her own foot. So I was like, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to ask you some questions. How's your day? How's the weather? Do you like this? Do you like that? Obviously you have to be very respectful for to boundaries because sometimes people think that you are hitting on them and that's not the case, especially with people from different genders, right? And I was like, let's talk, to some small talk and that and that and that. And eventually she was very open and she was very receptive to the idea of the job and things like that, and she got the position. And as far as I know, she's still working and growing in that company. I think that the last time I checked, this has been like 2 years ago, she was a manager and she was growing. And I that's my kind of thing, thinking like, okay, it's not because of me. But if I would be like in a different way, I would say no, you are not, you are not fit for this position. And probably I don't know what could happen. Body language is very important, but it should not be like your first or your main concern when you are conducting these interviews. You have to have a more integral vision of all the things that you're saying and the things that the other person is actually saying. Yeah, obviously, if the person is rude and or I don't know, again, I don't care too much if the candidate gets the interview full suited or with a very, very fancy dress or something like that. It's not important. I try to look for deeper points when I do these interviews. I have not done this like in 2 years. I switched jobs, but I enjoy that. One thing that I don't like is that I have this policy of always calling every candidate to let them know if they don't got a position, and that's hard. Trust me, I've been insulted. My poor mom has been remind me to me a number of times. I have to people crying on the phone is not cool. That's something that it's like the worst part of the job, but someone has to do it because the company I was working for, they say, no, no, don't call them. Eventually, they'll realize that they don't get the position. And I was like, no, I would like the company calling me to let me know that I didn't get the position so I can look some other way. That's me. Very good. But, sorry, Kendi, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. First, my name is Candy. I am a psychology student at the UCA University, and well, this is the first time that I can connect to this forum. So, well, sorry, sir, but I really don't understand the dynamics. What do we have to do? Excuse
Well,
me.
first of all, welcome to the class. And second, I'm just asking some general questions about this. Well, we started talking about job interviews, but eventually the topic was derivated to this idea of if you are actually working, if your workplace or your company you're actually working in is making you grow in your skills or improve your skills. That would be a better word. If that's the case, some of your classmates said yes, some said no. most of you said no, and that's in that's interesting because it is a very repetitive job. That's interesting. Ricardo Menor introduced Sala. The one that don't have a job and sitting in this.
Ok, entonces, el propósito, digamos que es como practicar el inglés que estemos manejando, no sé, tal vez es cuestión como de acostumbrarnos más a escucharlo o algo así.
No realmente, las dinámicas son muy distintas, ¿no? A veces se me ocurren cosas diferentes. Eso simplemente fue como una pregunta, así como una pregunta muy abierta para que ustedes puedan practicar, responder. Obviamente, lo que me interesa es que hablen, ¿no? Si hay algunos que escriben las respuestas en el chat, está bien, pero la idea es eso. ¿Podrías responder la pregunta?
Disculpe, ¿cuál es la pregunta?
Sí, el trabajo en el que estás o la compañía en la que... Sí, bueno, obviamente si estás trabajando, ¿no? Si el trabajo o la compañía está favoreciendo que desarrolles tus habilidades.
Oh, ok, ok. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me think.
Okay, yeah, take your time, don't worry. And let me see the answers. Rafael, yes.
Hey, everybody. For me, it was a little different because I only worked for somebody for a very short period of time in my life. That was back in 97, I think 96 through 98. I worked for somebody, and then I became my own boss since then. So I started working for my own since I was 18 years old. But I haven't had like interviews per se, but I do have to meet with clients, and I have to make sure I can sell my service so they can hire me, which is pretty similar, you know. But the company that I work for definitely helped me to be where I am right now because they were kind enough to teach me everything I needed to learn, and I still got paid for it, so I can't complain. It was a good couple of years back in the late 90s.
The one thing about working for yourself is that or having your own company, in my experience, I did the same thing, is that sometimes you're working for an asshole. You know, your boss don't give you any vacations and things like that. So that has been my experience as an entrepreneur.
It is different. I mean, it's got both good and bad, you know, because you can make your own hours. Like I can go work 2 3 hours. I can go work 10 hours. I come home and I don't shut down until like maybe 10 or 11. Before I started school again, I was going to sleep at 10 and sleeping 8 10 hours a day. Now I'm sleeping 5 to 6 hours a day, and it's still enough for now. But I got 2 more years to go, and hopefully once I'm done with school, I can go back to my regular sleeping hours. But in the meantime, it is kind of hard talking about what you said. Is you have to decide. You have to make that decision. Before I had kids, I would work 7 days a week. Ever since I had my kids, I have to make time. I have to take the time if they need me to be with them, if I need to go to their school, or if I need during like the summer and Christmas break, and even like spring break, I have to take those days off so I can do things with my kids. So people have to understand, this is what you do. You got to do this, and you just have to do it. And once you have kids, life changes, and it's a big change for sure.
Yeah, of course. The thing is, like, it happens the same to me. When I when I got home after work, it takes me some time to decompress and, like you said, like shutting off. And I have some time to play video games, to do things like that, to like some me time. But it's hard for me to to take my mind out of the work because I have 4 different jobs. Not all the time I do all of them, but it's kind of hard. And so I can only assume that you are right with this. Having kids is going to completely change the way you function, right? Especially because I'm pretty sure that your priorities change in a huge way.
Oh yeah, big time. Like I said, before I would work 7 days a week and 12, 13 hours a day because I had the time and I had nothing else to do. It was either that or go out with my friends and get drunk and go crazy. And that soon got old. So I'm like, and I'm old, I'm like 45. I'm going to be 44 years next week. So I had my fun. I did everything I needed to do. I travel and I still travel sometimes with the family, but I got all my good times. Now I got to focus on the business side, and I have like a couple of different corporations. We do architectural work, and that's why I'm finishing up the my career right now. And I've been doing structural work for 10 years, and I have a construction company. So my head is always doing something, and I get involved with the workers. I just have 100 employees. I reduced my payroll. I had a lot of them let go, and I've been just hiring companies to come do the work because it was a lot less overhead. But like I said, ever since my kids were born, life was just had a big change for me.
And I think that's good. Obviously, you're growing. I mean, your skills and things like that. You have your own company, and that's something that not a lot of people can say. Very good. Excellent. ¿Quién más? Salary is not good, and what I would like to is climb higher in the company. Pilar, what kind of work are you doing right now? Y una pregunta en lo que responde Pilar. ¿Quieren trabajar en equipos o solos? O les voy a dar la opción democrática. Noé.
Hello, teacher. Good evening. I want to answer the question before. Well, I hadn't responded before because I don't work for a company, but I think it depends of the position for which you were selected. No, if it's a position that what you put in your curriculum, is right. Yeah.
Resume is better.
Okay, thank you. If it's a position that you put in your resume, it should improve your skills, because in the company there will be a lot of situation where your skills will be needed, and maybe more than your skills. So you need to improve your own skills. I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. And I think that this is a matter of perspective. For example, you're not working for a company right now, but you are working.
Oh, well, I am. How do you say? I don't remember the word even in Spanish. I have I sell popsicles, ice popsicles. So it's my own business. It's my own. I don't remember the word.
Enterprise.
Enterprise. Oh, thank you. It's my own enterprise, so it's different. It's only for get a little money for my college.
Okay, excellent. So let me ask you this. Obviously, anyone else can answer too. Why do you work?
I need the money. I need the money because I'm studying right now, so this is my job, my purpose. I want to finish my degree, and of course, I want to work for a company here in Mexico or even in the United States. But that is my purpose.
Okay, so for you're working for the money. Now, let me ask you this, and this is a very tricky question. I'm going to give you this in advance. You have a horrible job, okay? You name it, whatever you want, but it's horrible. You don't like it, but you are getting paid very, very well. You're earning a lot of money. Would you prefer to earn a lot less in a more satisfactory job, satisfying job, or would you stay in the hideous job for the money?
That is a good question. I don't know.
Told you it was tricky.
I think I'll stay in the horrible job, and in that moment I will prepare for another job, another that I will like, and I will pay exactly like the horrible job. So I think so.
I did that. Actually, that's what I'm asking. I had a horrible job that I hated, but I was making quite some money. Very good money, actually. And I was saying, okay, I'm going to stick with this for some time. I'm going to save money, and then I'm going to do different things. And eventually I did. I quit, and I got good money to do a lot of things that I wanted to do, to travel, to put my own business and things like that. But eventually, it's pretty easy to keep on going with those jobs that you hate, but you're earning money. Because in the end, if you get the chance of not working but having everything that you need to survive, would you choose? You still choose working? That's that's something that I ask myself frequently. If I didn't have any needs, like every basic need covered, I would be working or I would be doing something else. Eventually, someone is going to say, and I did it. It was like, okay, let's make those things that you enjoy your job. It's not easy, but I try. What do you think? No.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I totally agree with you. Maybe I would do that. I haría eso. I would do that. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, probably. I love music, and eventually I move things to make music my job. But I could be earning a lot more in some different jobs. But Alma, yes.
Good evening, teacher. This is my first class. The last Tuesday I couldn't be here, and so I want to participate. And my English is not so good, but I would like to try. And I think that we have to use some words that we have in the screen, or not. Like,
Yes, you could go with that.
Okay. No, it's just a question. I'm sorry to interrupt your conversation.
Pero entonces no te entendí bien la pregunta.
My question is when we can participate, or
anytime you want. You only have to
¿Cómo es
read.
el rol aquí?
No, te lo digo en español por si hay alguna duda con los demás. En el momento que tú quieras, lo único que tienes que hacer es levantar la mano. A mí me pueden interrumpir cuando quieran, nada más cuando algún compañero esté hablando, ahí sí, cuando termine, solo levantan la mano y adelante, cuando ustedes quieran. ¿Va? De hecho, es lo que me interesa, que participen todos. Well, in this case, I don't have the opportunity to work, but when I was on a professional internship, high school student asked me for my opinion if I feel valued because in my life, as a high school student. Very good. Muy bien, David. Bien, ya no va a dar tiempo de que vayan a sesiones separadas, y está bien. Nada más les voy a pedir una cosa. De acá tienen 18 puntos, de hecho son más. Son 20 puntos, pero creo que no se verían si los hago más chicos. ¿Ahí lo logran ver o está muy pequeño?
For
Bien.
me, it's good.
Entonces, para no hacer esto tan largo y que dé tiempo con los minutos que quedan, quiero que escojan 3 de eso. Por ejemplo, el primero es adaptability, y quiero que me den un ejemplo de esa habilidad. Sí, puede ser communication skills. Acá está la definición, ¿no? Effective verbal and written communication and clarity and professionalism. Pero quiero que me den un ejemplo concreto de 3. Escojan 3 y me los dicen. Sandra, dime.
Teacher, I just want to give you an example of the first one. I need that you help me to pronounce that word. Adaptability.
Exacto.
Okay. And a simple was for us. I used to work for Salt Lake City School District. We were in charge for 20 preschools in the city. It wasn't a department, and pandemic came, and it wasn't a very challenging moment for all of the world. But for us, it was to adjust all our abilities, everything, to put everything online, just to keep the kids learning, to be connected, that they had to do something in that really hard time that all the humanity we went through. And that was a very important thing, that everyone in our department were able to be sorry, I forgot the word. Sorry, but I hope so that you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Very good. That's a very good example. I think that we all had to adapt. A lot of us didn't have the chance to change anything besides using a mask. But in my case, I have a music school. And at that time, just before the pandemic, most of my students were kids, small kids. And when the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, no one's coming, so I have to adapt. So I started giving online lessons for the first time in my life. And see me now. I liked it. Very good. ¿Quién más? Denme ejemplos. Hay varios acá que son interesantes. A ver. Perdón, no había visto que levantaron la mano. Denme un segundo. Raúl, adelante.
Disculpe, profesor, no puedo ver bien la imagen. Ya puse la pantalla completa, pero no la puedo lograr ver bien.
A ver, déjale, pongo un poquito de zoom para que la puedas ver. Ahí está mejor. Digo, no se van a ver todos, pero.
Sí, gracias, profe.
Muy bien. Kendi.
Thank you. Well, my English not is good. So I try to answer, okay? Entonces, ahí usted me corrige. Well, I understand the adaptability. Well, I am a psychology, so I think that adaptability need to be my second name. So I need adapt to me to each patient, algo así, a cada paciente.
Patient.
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 Patient. Okay, thank you.
Es que, mira, te voy a decir una cosa. Me dices que tu inglés no es muy bueno y acabas de responder perfectamente en inglés. Entonces, no te preocupes, lo hiciste muy bien. Entonces, no creo que haya problema con eso.
Thank you.
Yes, the thing here is that you have to adapt to each patient. That's true. But in the end, I think that, especially as a psychologist, you have to draw one line and saying, okay, this is the way I'm going to treat patients. Obviously, every case is going to be different, but it's very difficult, especially if you work in bulk. I mean, with a lot of patients. For example, in the public sector, you are going to have a lot of patients, and you are not going to have enough time to dedicate that precise attention to them. And obviously, this is wrong. The system is wrong, but that's reality. And you're going to draw the line. You need to draw the line in terms of what is more effective and time wise. But I think it's a very good idea what you were saying.
Each
Mm,
head is a world, so it's
yeah,
complicated. Yeah.
it's pretty difficult. I've been in front of a class with 40 to 50 students, and trust me, I would love to give every one of them a very, very personal attention, but it's impossible. The system is wrong, and we need to change that, but it's not going to change anytime soon. So we have to adapt.
Yes, I understand.
Very good. Excellent, Candy. Very good. Judith, yes.
Hi. I work at balloons shop and decorations, and I have to work in no teamwork, and I have creativity and adaptability because in event, I don't know how do you say cliente?
Customer.
Customer. Okay, example, the customer wants the decoration at 2 p.m. and sometimes se nos hace tarde. How do you say?
¿Qué quieres decir? O sea, se nos hace tarde, pero ¿cuál sería como la idea?
Que, por ejemplo, cuando un cliente quiere la decoración a las 2 de la tarde y ya tenemos como que el tiempo encima, soy adaptable a que, o sea, apurarme, ¿no? O sea, hacerlo rápido.
Out of time. Así lo dirías. When we are running out of time. Se nos está acabando el tiempo.
When we are running.
Si quieres que se oiga como más acá, más profesional. When we are on a tight schedule. Esa palabra la van a odiar. Schedule.
When we are on a... Ay.
Tight.
No. Ya se perdió el mensaje. Oye. When we are on a tight schedule.
Exactamente.
Okay. Teamwork, because my jefe es...
Boss. It could be boss.
My boss and me
Me
connect...
and my boss.
Me and
my boss. En inglés es al revés.
Okay. Me and the boss connected too much in this aspect? No. Sí, aspect. And creativity, because I learn too much about this. And that's all.
Very good, Yurichi. Good example there. Bien. ¿Quién sí que... Alma, yes.
Can you hear me, teacher?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I will use the word adaptability. So in my case, I work in a photography agency. Specifically, is that correct? Specifically, for a journalist agency called Cuarto Oscuro. It's in Mexico City. so I have to take photos of different subjects, sometimes in the same day, without a schedule. That means that I have to adapt to the conditions, if the day is hot, or it's raining, or is, so I have to adapt in the condition of my work, and I don't have the schedules to work. So for me, it's that the adaptability in my work. That's
Very
it.
good. Very good. Excellent, Alma. Thank you.
Okay.
Miguel, yes.
Hello, teacher. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Miguel.
Okay.
No, Miguel.
Miguel Robles. Miguel Robles. Okay, okay.
Ah,
Bueno, si
first,
también quieres participar, Miguel, adelante. Miguel Rosales, pues.
okay. I choose organization. Well, in my actually work, my actually job, I think the decisions to the boss, I think didn't have a good plan to how can I say, to give results. And this is a problem because well, the organization is very important, obviously, and they didn't planificate, and it's complicated. Sorry, teacher. I didn't speak English.
Vas bien, vas bien.
Perdón, es que tiene muchos años que no hablo inglés.
No te preocupes. Si de repente se te va alguna palabra o no te acuerdas cómo se dice, pregúntame y te la digo, para que no te trabes tanto.
Sí, gracias, profe. Bueno, well, this is a very important in the company that I work, and I think they don't have a plan to guide the companions and give results. And I don't like that, because it's hard to work in these conditions. And no, I don't know, it's very important. I think it's very important in a lot of companies, the organization. If you don't have organization, you don't have results in a long or a short time. And I see that is a problem, a very big problem, because I don't know, the people who work in the company don't give results than required. And well, in my case, it's straight, and I don't know, it's hard. It's hard and difficult to give results in a short time in that conditions.
Yes, yes. Obviously, if the organization is not well planned, it's going to be quite difficult. Very good.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Miguel Kino, do you want to go?
Okay, teacher. It's a simple example, okay? Critical thinking. Maybe this subject is important, okay? It's about the increase your salary, increase your idea, and to get another charger, okay? It's a simple idea.
Yes, but it's interesting idea nevertheless. Very good. Thank you, Miguel. Bien, ya nos pasamos bastante ahora sí. Recuerden que si tienen cualquier duda, me pueden escribir. Les pongo mi correo. Listo. Pueden escribir ahí o durante la clase. ¿Va? Que tengan excelente fin de semana, excelente noche, cuídense mucho y nos vemos el martes. ¿Va? Que estén muy bien.
Gracias, profe.
Buenas noches a todos.
Gracias.
Bye bye.
Goodbye, teacher. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Adiós.
Bye.